Hi everybody, this is Alan. This may be indeed our final video, so I'm going to try to get us through some text functions, okay? So I'm going to go back to the matrix you see up here. This is the data we've been dealing with throughout our last couple of lectures, and tonight I'm going to focus on text functions. When you're doing data management functions, many times you need to perform operations involving text, okay? And like so many other areas, Excel is going to give you flexibilities that you might not have even expected are there. So as an example, let's look back on the same database. All text in the last name and first name columns that we see over here identified as B and C, okay, and also the city and state. Now they are all in uppercase. Now let's say your boss wants to see things in lowercase, okay? So that's one of the first things we'll look at. Lowercase, simple. You're going to type in the command lower. Okay, and now you're going to tell it, come take this name, Dedekian, okay, and let's express it as lowercase. Now I want to see the whole column like that, so I'm going to take Dedekian. Oh, excuse me, I didn't mean to transplant it like that. Okay, I'll just leave it where it is. Okay, and I'm having a bit of problems here tonight. There it is, okay. I won't go all the way down. And then there are all of our last names, and they've all automatically been converted to lowercase. All right, if you want to convert anything in lowercase to all uppercase, even something that's mixed uppercase and lowercase, you can do that with, obviously, the command is going to be upper, U-P-P-E-R. Okay, I'm going to take the cell right there, and I'm going to convert that to uppercase just like that, and we see Mr. Dedekian is back to his old smiling uppercase self. I replicate that all the way down by dragging the bottom right corner of the Dedekian cell and bringing it down, as we know by now, by holding down the left mouse button, dragging, and they all appear like that. Okay. Now, let's say, as most people love to do, you want to capitalize the first letter, but make the rest of the letters lowercase. Okay, the command to do that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to type the equal sign as always. It's proper. I don't know what that means. I'm assuming it means use the proper type of, let me put that over here actually. I'm going to use the proper type of spelling. So let's again take Mr. Dedekian, P-R-O-P-E-R. I'm going to scroll over to M6 and I'm going to capture that. I'm going to put it there, and you can see there it's taken the text string Dedekian. It has capitalized the first letter, proper, there it is, it's proper, and it's used lowercase for the rest, okay? So those are a couple of basic functions on how to make the text look like you might want to see it for aesthetics or simply because the boss wants you to. There's an old story about how you can replace text where a person was demonstrating a document he was working on to some friends, and he said, look, Microsoft Word, or Microsoft Excel in this case, can change all my T's to S's, and he did. And then he went to change them back, and of course all the S's became T's, including the ones that should have been S's in the first place. So when you start manipulating text, keep those little limitations in mind, okay? All right, so we saw proper. Again, we can try replacing. Let's get rid of all of these wonderful people we just were playing with. You can take a command called replace. Let's talk about replace for a moment. Okay, that can be valuable. You can take old text, you can select a start point, you can then select the number of characters, and then enter what you want to replace them with. Okay, so I want you to watch the so-called formula builder as I do this. Okay, that will appear right below my cell. Okay, let's say I want to take everybody's city, okay? Way over here we have city, right? Okay, let's say I want to take the city and put it right about here, and I want to replace the second and third characters of whatever that city's name is, a text string, remember, with my own initials, AA, okay? I don't care what the letters are there now. I want AA to be in the second and third places in that text string. Here, ladies and gentlemen, is your formula, syntax. I just went to type the word syntax. I don't want to do that, okay? A little Freudian slip there. So I'm going to type the word replace. Here's what I wanted you to notice, the formula builder. It says underneath, All right, take a close look at that. It might be a little hard to see, but try it on your own computer and you'll see what happens. The syntax, the arguments are old text, place to start, number of characters, and the new text that you want to replace the old text with. So I'm going to try that. Okay, I want to say I'm going to scroll around now. I'm going to take that city, Bellingham, okay, comma. I'm going to say, well, where do I want to start? The first letter? No, I want to start with the second letter. 2, the second letter, comma. How many characters from that start point do I want to go? Oh, just 2. I'm going to type another 2, okay? 2 different arguments. They both happen to be 2. And what text do I want to put in there? Use quotes. I'm going to put A, Alan Adams in there. I close my parens, and B-E-L-L is now B-A-A-L, and I can replicate that down and see that A-A appears in the second and third positions of the character string all the way down. Okay, that's how it works, ladies and gentlemen. Experiment with this. Have fun with this. What else can we do? One word I love is concatenation. Excuse me. Concatenation is a fancy, almost geekish way of saying join. Okay? To concatenate two things is to take one thing and then another and put them together. Okay? In older versions of Excel, the proper function word was concatenate, and they've shortened that to concat, C-O-N-C-A-T. So now let's pretend that your boss is looking at this wonderful list that you've prepared and says, hey, you know what, I don't like seeing first name in one cell and last name in another. Would you put them together for me? Okay? Well, instead of retyping the whole thing, you can use the concatenate function. Okay? Now let's say that your boss wants two things. Let's say that she wants, first of all, to see the first name, space, last name. And she wants it in one cell. Secondly, let's say that she wants to see the last name, then a comma, then the first name, but she wants it in one cell. So those are two separate exercises. Let's do them. In both cases, by the way, we'll use concatenation. Here's how it works. For the first one, I'm going to take my equal sign, as we always do, and I'm going to type in the word C-O-N-C-A-T. You can see the word concatenate under functions still appears, okay, but we can certainly shorten it up. Newer versions of concatenate can do one or two other things. I'm not going to get into that now. Maybe someday in an advanced badge. Okay, I'm hoping this will be our last lecture in this series. Okay, concatenate. I'm going to take the first name. I'm going to scroll over to it. Okay, right there. Then I type a comma. What else do I want to join? Well, I don't want to just have Thomas Hagen come out as one word, Thomas H-A-G-A-N. All right, I want a space in between there. I have to tell my concatenate command, put a space in there, and I put that space between two quotation marks. You should be used to that in a text string by now. That argument is over. I type a comma, and I put in my next argument. I can put in many more arguments if I want to. Concatenate can do a lot more than this. So I'm going to come over, and I'm going to grab the last name Hagen. I close my parens. I hit enter, and now Thomas Hagen, first name, space, last name is all in one cell. Okay, and I can, of course, replicate that if I like. There it is, as you can see. Now, the second request that the boss made is give me the last name, then a comma, then the first name. Piece of cake. I'll bet you can do that already, intuitively. What I'm going to do is, once again, I'm going to type in C-O-N-C-A-T. My first argument this time, ladies and gentlemen, will be my last name. Let's grab Mr. Hagen's last name. I put in a comma. All right, now I'm going to open my quotes, and this time I'm going to put in a comma and a space because I want a comma after the last name and then a space, then the first name. All right, and so I close my quotes. And my next, now remember, you need another comma. The comma inside the quotes will go into the character string. The other two commas are separating the arguments of my concatenate command. So I come back out and grab Mr. Hagen's first name, and if I did everything correctly, Hagen, comma, Thomas. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? Remember, experiment. Okay, what else can we do here? You can perform extractions, you can perform substitutions. We saw replacement. If you want to capture, let's say you want to capture the first 4 characters of a text string. You can pick 3, 5, 16, okay? But if you just want to capture the first 4 characters appearing in any word, we call that a text string. We want the left. So I'm going to type in L-E-F-T, and I'm going to tell it which one to use. How about Milford? Okay. And the first, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot something very important. Let's do that again. I type in left. Okay. I tell it the cell, like I did a moment ago. But what I forgot to do is tell it how many characters. Comma, 4, close parens, and there we have it. If I replicate that down by left click, drag, hold down and drag, I can capture the first 4 characters of anything in that column, which happens to be column D. Okay? Now, if I can capture the left, ladies and gentlemen, it stands to reason I can capture the right. Let's say I want to capture the, well, I don't know why I'd want to do this, but let's say I want to capture the last 3 characters in any one word. Once again, I'll use the city, okay? So I type in right. Okay? I tell it which cell to use, all right, which is in column D, comma, I want the last 3, so I type in 3, the number of characters. What's your little formula guideline right there? And of the word Milford, it captured ORD. It will capture if I replicate the last 3 letters of any word in column D. Okay? So that's handy as well. Okay, let me see, what else can I tell you? If I want to repeat characters, all right, let's say I want to repeat, the word cat several times. I just want to keep repeating it. Again, why I would want to do this, I don't know, but you might have a use for it. So I'm just going to show you quickly what the function repeat does for you. I'm going to say CAT, and I'm going to repeat it 7 times. You get the idea? I can keep doing things like this with text strings. There's a lot of power here. Oh, and it contains an error. All right, let me try that one more time. Okay. Hold on. Just 1 second. All right. I type in the text and I type in the number of times. Give me 1 moment here. Okay. Bear with me for 1 moment, please. I'm having a bit of trouble with this one. Hang on. Okay, here we go. I think I have it now. Bear with me. I must have hit a typo or something. The repeat is R-E-P-T. I'm going to enter my text, the word cat. I hit a comma, and I think that's what I messed up. And then I enter the number of times, and there it is. Okay, the word cat repeats 7 times. It could have also been 17 times. Once again, I'm not sure why you would use that, but some of these features come in handy, and my purpose is to demonstrate what we have seen before on the Excel, and let me get that back if I may, on the Excel guidelines provided by ExcelJet, okay? Look at all these text operations that you can have, okay? So please review these. I have used many of these. I have not used ever many of these. It all depends on your profession, on your goals, on your objectives that you're trying to accomplish, okay? All right, the final thing I want to show you is I'm going to demonstrate nesting. I want you to remember that all of these functions and formulas that I've shown you can be nested. You can place them inside each other. We saw that with the and if function, right? So what I would like to do is this. Let's assume that your boss wants to see, like we did a moment ago with concatenation, or your boss wants to see first name and last name of all of the people in this list in columns C and D, okay? But she doesn't want to see it in all lowercase. She doesn't want to see it in all uppercase. Right now it's in all uppercase. She wants to see it with a capitalized first letter, and then she wants to see it with lowercase for the rest. And she wants first name, last name. All right, so what I'm going to do is this. I want you to concatenate, and I want you to use proper. Okay, so you would do something like this. Once again, you've got to experiment with these things, ladies and gentlemen. You would type in concatenate, because that's the first thing you're trying to do. You open a parens, okay? Now, the first argument in concatenate is going to be the person's first name, but you want it in proper form. So I'm going to type proper, and then I go capture the cell. Right there it is, Leo, okay? And I close my parens. Now remember, for every open paren, you have to have a closed paren. And we are inside one set of open parens already. I've just closed the second one that we created. That's my first argument. Okay, now I'm going to hit a comma, and I want to put a space in there because otherwise my first and last name will all become one word. All right, so I'm going to insert a space like we did before. I hit a comma. It's time for my last argument. I want to go get the person's last name, but I want it to be in proper form. So I'm going to go and get proper cell reference, and this is in column B, okay? And I'm going to close that parens. And now remember, I'm ready to close the entire concatenate argument, so I have to hit another parens. There it is. Leo Bloom has been captured. It has been concatenated with a space between first and last name, and it is with capitalized first letter, and every other letter has been in the proper form reduced to lowercase. I can grab that and replicate it, and you see how easy it is. And now you see Mr. Deshane, Mr. Kirby, Mr. Powell have all been properly expressed. Ladies and gentlemen, those are some of the things that you can do with text operations. Once again, if you look at the list on ExcelJet or any other of the many, many places on the internet that have text resources for you, you'll find that your power is very, very significant. Okay? And now, ladies and gentlemen, we have finished the so-called proficient badge number 3, all of the material you need to take the final quiz, not only for badge number 3, but in the entire series. I really appreciate the time that you've taken to earn all 3 badges, to get to this point, and to have the patience to listen to all my videos. I may do more for maybe an advanced badge, and we may do more, the college may do more for badges in other disciplines. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, that is all I have to say on Excel. I hope you all have a wonderful fall of 2018 season, and you all take care. Bye-bye.